Now the election back and I'll die away. In short, this is what I have to say. Let us forget spites and grudges and concentrate. Come, let us sit and try to relate. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah,
yeah. Come, my brother, come, my sister, let us build a nation together. I want to welcome you to the Dynamic Hour. Again, opportunity for you and I to engage meaningfully using radio and social media to connect. I want to encourage the fans of the program on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off by saying Peter David will never become the leader of the NNP, because I know Keith Mitchell will work overnight to achieve his set goals. And I believe one of them is to ensure that Peter David does not get the leadership of the NNP. And we are seeing that playing out in bright daylight or broad daylight. We are experiencing it. They are having secret meetings, leaving out some members of their team. They're not inviting Peter David and Kate Lewis and so on. No. They're not. They're having all these secret meetings. And you know what made me laugh the most is when Dwight Horsey, my good partner, name pop up. Because I remember what transpired between Dwight Horsford and Kennedy Roberts. Remember, Kennedy ran, and they did not run Dwight Horsford. And it was because of the same individual, right, who decided he's not running Dwight Horsford, because you're threatened by Dwight Horsford's intellect. He's not running him, and he's going to run Kennedy instead. I remember that vividly. In fact, that is where the whole problem between the party, the individual, and myself, that is where it climaxed. When I put my feet down to say, but wait, yes, you're the leader of the party, but you cannot just choose who you want, right, without going through the process and so on. And eventually, Kennedy ran, and there was a big thing between them and all the 3 and 4 of all of them, real problems. But when I heard Horsey name pop back up, I started to laugh, right? That's Dwight Horsford, because I was saying to myself, but that's the same man you were threatened by. That's the same man you didn't want to run in the election of 2008, thereabout, right? Is it 2008 or 2003? 2008, right? That's the same man you didn't want to run. It's like they're scraping the barrel, the bottom of the barrel, or the bun. They're looking for somebody, because they don't want Peter. They're looking for somebody who can, step forward. I have engaged Derek Sylvester is my good friend. I have engaged him. Youth for Change engaged Derek on humping occasions. And, our conversation will always remain confidential. But I don't see Derek Sylvester fitting in with NNP. I just don't see it, right? That is not the kind of place that he will survive in. So there's such in there looking all over, and from all indications, Akima not going to leave that kind of cash that she's earning outside there and come and be involved in this unless they really force her to come back, right? But anyways, any one of them come, they will be badly beaten. But as a good friend said this morning, the real elephant in the room is what they're trying to avoid. And the elephant in the room is Peter David. All this melee is because of this leadership struggle and fight between Keith and Peter and a faction here and a faction there, and it's a real mess. The NNP is in a mess. It's a wreck. It's a boat sinking fast, and there are still some people who are partying. It's like the Titanic. The boat sinking, but you still have some people drinking and marrying themselves. Kind of trying to take that out of the picture. In fact, I laughed this morning because Anne-Marie Aban, she's out of touch. This woman is obsessed. She's out of touch. She came across on that poorly listened to program this morning as a lunatic. That is what she came across as. NNP house on fire. Delma resigned from the NNP, right? Peter Keith is a whole wobble swabble, a whole mix up. In other words, it's like a cook up that go bad. The food sour, like a warp, syrup, corrupt, whatever you want to call it. All kind of old thing inside it. The ingredients not meshing. The NNP in real mess. And this woman wants to be relevant. In fact, she take over the whole program this morning on Plead Your Cause. With some dead man, she say, tell her something, some man that dead, he passed away, some kind of stupidness. They're just creating all kind of scenario. You have one, the chatters on the street. Now, this woman come with some dead man, somebody who passed away, and oh God. It's amazing. The NNP is grabbing at straw. And mind you, NNP right now, they don't have anybody reputable, anybody credible to really speak for them, Keith Mitchell is a lonely guy, Look at the people who are out there yapping for the NNP. It's a shame, a real shame. Where's the young people? Where is the intelligent people? Where's the smart people to go there and speak for NNP? NNP in a mess. NNP in a real watch. And I ain't sorry for them, I ain't sorry for them. I want this thing to continue. So they're fighting for relevance. But here it is. All kind of secret meeting happening. All kind of secret meeting happening. And then inviting Peter, then inviting Kate, then inviting this one and that. Real problems. But I told you so. The NNP go experience this kind of mess. And it go happen over and over and over again. Real fight. That fight don't finish it now, But I'm not naive to believe that they would not get it right over time. But that fight going to happen over and over and over again. They're going to have a lot of fight. And Grenadians, you need to know that if you want to govern, your party needs to be stable. Your party needs to be united. Your party needs to be organized. And right now, the NNP is not organized. There is great instability within the NNP. There is no unity at all. They have it's like a revolution taking place, but it's not good. It's not a good one. It would not bring forth anything good. All kind of sides. It's like Ukraine and Russia within the NNP fighting, and then you have China, and then you have all kind of fight. The United States, and it's a struggle there. But we expected that.
Leader of the New National Party, Dr. Keith Mitchell, has held a special executive meeting of his party with a man he has identified as the next potential leader. Multiple sources, including some who attended the meeting, said, however, two senior MPs, Peter David and Kate Lewis, were excluded from the meeting with lawyer Derek Sylvester. Tahira Burke reports tonight.
The meeting was held last week before Monday's resignation of Delma Thomas, who quit, suggesting a lack of democracy in the party. Our reporters spoke to different sources who both attended the meeting or who helped mobilize on the understanding we could use the information without identifying them. The meeting has led to new grumblings about the way the party is managed, leaving long-term Mitchell allies such as original NNP member and former Attorney General Lawrence Joseph and Bert Bruffert concerned. It has been widely reported that Mitchell, who is under pressure to stick to his promise to retire as leader, though he has shown signs of wavering, is seeking to handpick a successor from outside of the party. He is reported not in favor of David, even though polling shows the former foreign minister is the preferred person should Dr. Mitchell retire. David had said a few weeks ago on a local show called The Bob Report that he was interested in offering his leadership after Dr. Mitchell had said he was retiring. David said then he had no reason not to take the word of his party leader. Former NNP member and MP Michael Batiste says he does not believe Dr. Mitchell intends to leave, saying he runs the party as a cult.
Because whether you know it or not, the New National Party is like a cult. It belongs to Dr. Mitchell. He stole it from Harvard Blaise. He suffered with it. He built it. And there is a good possibility he may even want to die with it.
During the election, Dr. Mitchell was courting London-based lawyer Akima Paul, who has not shown interest in returning to Grenada right now. Now, following the meeting, doubts have now arisen over Derek Sylvester's willingness to join the party immediately without firm assurances. One person privy to the discussion says the former Prime Minister has now raised the name of Dwight Hosford, currently the Attorney General in Anguilla, as another likely leadership target. The NNP leader is resisting holding a convention this year, though one is constitutionally due. He has said that calling a party convention is not a priority. While the omission of David on the talks about the future direction of the party was not totally shocking, given some of the reported behind-the-scenes maneuvering, that of Lewis, seen as one-time close ally to both Mitchell and Thomas, has also raised fresh eyebrows. When quizzed for a comment, a top official who attended the meeting said he could not explain the reasons for the omissions since that was not his call.
Right, so yeah, a lot of melee within the NNP, a lot of secret meetings, a lot of rumblings, a lot of fighting. And look, this would continue for a long, long time, because when you want to just select a person and put them as a leader, you would have a problem. Not only that, when you promise a man leadership, you promise the man, if he mash up the NDC, if he bring down the NDC government, you're going to give him leadership of a particular party. Now you're seeing all kind of stupidness taking place in Grenada with these people. And it just started. It's sad, but that's the reality that we face. You know, I always tell you that this man is not genuine. He's disingenuous in my belief, because think about it. How many times we heard this individual say, it's his last time running and give me one for the road, right? And that's the last time you're going to see me on a campaign rally platform or a platform, before the election and so on. All this talk, that's just talk. Power. As a friend told me yesterday, well, why that man don't take his $91 million? No, 91 or 19. I think he said 19. One before the 999 before. All right, anyways. 19 million, and go on a cruise, right? Go in Spain, go on a beach. We know you like young thing. Get 2 or 3 of them and go with them in Spain, go in France, go in certain places and spend your money, because you would not be able to spend all that money in your lifetime, right? Go and spend your money and enjoy your life. You come on, drink, eat, laugh. What do you want power for? Huh? How many years you been there? Come on, boy. It's amazing. But let the hemorrhaging continue. I love it. I want a bloodbath within that cesspool. This old party. And it's a party of a whole bunch of rejects, derelict. You see how Andy Williams going around, he and the team, and scrap up and, take all the derelict and just dump them. That is what that is what should happen within that new nasty party. This derelict, this old thing, and them. What are they fighting so far? All you've been there for. But here it is. I have no sympathy for them. I like to see what happening. Fight, mash it up, wreck it. Have all kind of secret meeting, left, right, and center. It is good for Grenada. Because why? Grenada should never again, the Grenadian people, should never again elect these people back in office. Never. They have done too much negative things, bad things to this piece of rock that we call home. Never. So we must ensure that they dead politically. In other words, don't believe that they finish. Make sure that they finish. Organize ourselves, right? Improve our PR and ramp up the pressure on them. I love what is happening. Continue fighting, continue wrestling, continue doing all kind of stupidness. The new nasty party, they watch. All you haven't seen nothing yet, There will be 2 other resignations. There will be 2 other resignations, but it will continue. Because as long as Diablo is there, as long as the devil controls this thing, you know what will happen. All right? You know what will happen. But let me tell you this. The Grenadian people are happy. You will not be able to please everybody, because the NNP supporters, they will forever hate. They will forever be obstructionists, because they don't want prosperity to come to our people. You ever sat and just think for a moment, but wait. These people want to come back into power, but everything that's good, they fighting it down, or they tearing it down. They are not interested in Grenada. They're only interested in power. Because if you're interested in Grenada, they would be like the Honorable Delma Thomas. When things are good, she comes out and she commends it. She applauds it. If she believes that they need to improve, the government needs to improve on X, Y, and Z, she would say the same. She would come out and she would say that. She teamed up to bring betterment to her people. She's not about the tribal politics or the divisive politics or the petty politics. She's about people. But the NNP is not like that. They're about tearing down and mashing up and being a stumbling block in the way of progress and opportunity. And we need to call them out. We need to get names for them. Obstructionists. Let's start calling them obstructionists, because people understand what a person who is considered obstructionist, what they do. They obstruct, they prevent, they deny, they deny you things. They obstruct things from coming to you. Prosperity, betterment, opportunities. They want you to remain the way you are. Right? They don't want access. They don't want you to have access to anything. Let us call them obstructionists. Let us call them enemies of progress, agents of hate. We have to start tagging them. We have to start calling them names when they speak on different radio programs. You don't have to call them by their name, but if people know that, for example, I don't have to call a certain individual name. I say Diablo. People know who is Diablo. Diablo is the devil, but they know who is the devil, right? They know. So if you call them obstructionist, say they're obstructionist, people understand. They're blocking you from progressing. They're blocking you from developing and advancing. They're enemies of the state. That is who they are. They're agents of hate. We have to start coining phrases and tagging them and names, and it is important. So people will know them by the time you say, I call, for example, remember I call a certain one Tomcat, the big old Tomcat, and I say meow, and then people know him as that, right? Everywhere they see him, they call him Tomcat and meow. Cell phone gate. When I call one the old Morocco, that tag on, that stayed on. In fact, yesterday, a good banker partner of mine say, well, what going on with the old Morocco? Remember when I called him the old Morocco? You know, this tortoise-like creature? They old, but they don't want to give up. They slow, but they don't want to give up. They peen on themselves, but they don't want to give up. They get blind, they're losing their senses. They turning senile. They don't want to give up. Remember? And Popo Black and the expired corned beef. But we have to start tagging those NNP supporters and call them obstructionists, call them agents of hate, enemies of progress. They don't want opportunities to come to you. We have to start, because you see, that is what PR is and mass communication. You don't have to call their names, but the minute time you say Diablo, people know who is Diablo. The old Morocco, people know who is the old Morocco. So we have to become more tactical, more strategic as we move forward. Because what they seek to do is to prevent you from living a better life, to prevent you from opportunities, from prosperity. That is what they seek to do. Because here it is. The government is working for the people. The government wants good for you, the government of Grenada. That is why the parents out there, they are happy when they heard the news that come September, they will not be required to pay any school fees, to enter for your kids or your children to enter, for the students to enter TAMCC. Yes, you may still have to pay for certain things in there, but the mere fact that they can enter the college without paying anything to enter is significant, and it's a big savings for the parents of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. This is significant, right? Very, very significant. A good friend called that program there this morning, a good friend. And, it's so important when you call a program to speak about anything to have the correct thing, because then you had the host of the program saying, well, there is clothing and textile already in school, or there is home economics already in school, right? And that is not what the Minister of Education was actually speaking about. He was speaking about technical and vocational skills, right? So, in other words, the technical side of learning. A person who wants to pursue technical drawing, who wants to pursue, let's say, sewing, plumbing, electrical engineering, that kind of thing, will be able hospitality or be a bartender, that kind of thing. That is what he was really speaking to. A carpenter, mason, that kind of thing, right? So or joiner, that is what they're reintroducing. They're reintroducing this kind of technical vocational education training within the school system. That is great. They're also reintroducing history in school. And that is why I encourage all the NDC supporters out there to listen to this program. That is where you learn. This is an open university. When you listen to this program, you could call any other program in Grenada, and people will understand you if you're able to communicate effectively. Yeah, and you will sing intelligently. You can write your stuff down. You have to take out your pen and paper and write stuff down, or use your phone, write stuff down. You learn here. So when you call programs, you can articulate properly. You can say, hey, I am very happy as a parent to know that they are reintroducing history in schools. I am happy as a parent to know that they are reintroducing the technical and vocational subject areas in schools. So a person who wants to become a plumber, an electrician, a carpenter, a mason, who wants to pursue or who wants to become a joiner, or let's say somebody in the hospitality sector, right? A bartender, a cook, or somebody in that, a culinary person, they can pursue that. He made reference to universities that they're teaming up with. So again, it's so important that you arm yourself with the required information. So when you go there, you know what you're talking about. We're not only speaking about just home economics or clothing and textile. No. It's far more than that. Hence the reason they're relaunching, or we need to say launch. They're launching these things out there in the schools. It's a really happy time for education in Grenada. But let's listen to the Honorable David Andrew for a moment.
Martinique, 3 primary schools are taking the CPEA exams completely electronically. It's a declaration of intent as to where we are heading. We talk technology, we talk digitization, we talk transformation, but this administration is not prepared just to talk. We are prepared to do the work as well. And so 3 primary schools are off in that direction. We tried not to make much noise about it, Madam President, because we didn't want to attract too much media attention before they finish the exam in the next hour and some. We didn't want the media making them a little more nervous than they needed to be made with all the cameras getting there. How was the first day with e-testing? So there's 1 school in Carriacou and 2 on the mainland. They were piloted, let me assure you. There was a pre-test prior, and then there was serious layers of consultation with parents, the education community, teachers, the students themselves. And there were about 5 schools that initially did the pre-test. And after the consultations, a couple of those schools felt they were not quite ready yet. There were some pockets of objection. We said, all right, well, go right ahead and do it in a traditional way. But those students, their teachers, their parents, the school community felt comfortable that they were able to go the exam and do it electronically. And so we celebrate with them. And this Ministry of Education looks forward to further roll out next year, God's willing, for electronic testing. Let me say to you, we do have electronic testing that started since 2017 at the secondary level for the paper 1s, the multiple choice, in several of the areas, but never before has it been done for the primary schools. And so this is very, very historic, and I want to commend my staff at the Ministry of Education, the examinations department. They work tirelessly. During this period, they get no rest till CSEC examination is done. They are down at the ministry probably well before 5 a.m. in the morning to deliver the scripts and they're there till late in the afternoon to make sure every bit comes back in. And so I want to put on record my profound thanks and appreciation to them while we have created such an historic moment for education in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Madam President, I want to talk about another significant transformative occurrence. At the cabinet level, we have passed two very important documents. The TVET strategy, National TVET Policy rather, and the TVET strategy, which is a mapping for how we are going to implement skills across Grenada. Now, this was done after the TVET strategy, the TVET policy, was a document that was funded by UNESCO, World Bank, and long been prepared after several rounds of consultation, Madam President, with key stakeholders, the National Training Agency, GNAB, Workers' Federation, several other agencies, TAMCC, NULO. They identified the gaps in our skills operation with a view to addressing those gaps and to making skills education more sustainable and applicable to our needs. And so the second document is our rendering of a strategy, a mapping to implement and to fill those gaps and implement skills across the nation, both for students in school and for persons outside of school. And so a comprehensive 30-something page document was presented to the cabinet, which has received preliminary approval for implementation across Grenada. And it includes several key transforming elements, one of which is the reintroduction of skills in all primary schools. Madam President, I am happy to announce that next Tuesday, God's willing, should I be spared, 9th of May, we will see the official launch of the reintroduction of skills at the level of sensitization in all our primary schools across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. We have had the consultations with all of the schools, the teachers, the persons in the technical areas, and we are quite happy to have it reintroduced. Now, there were some elements of it happening, but not all schools were involved, only some elements. And so we are very happy to have it reintroduced that way, and we look forward to, and that's just part of it. That skills mapping has several other elements that will be implemented incrementally over the next several years. So in that plan, I can tell you, there are plans to upgrade some of our secondary schools that have strong grounding in skills, to upgrade them to be school-based centers of excellence in particular areas. So there might be 6 or so of those schools earmarked for that. There are plans to use some of these centers of excellence, and we have some structures already existing, some not being fully utilized or exploited, and so we are going to use those. Some community centers, one example is the National Training Institute in, I'm not sure I can say the right word, in Snell Hall, which the former administration had going. But even that institution, we are aware a lot more can be done, and we are prepared to upgrade several of those institutions to make them indeed centers of excellence for various elements of skill. That's part of the plan. And to continue sixth form in some schools, the centers of excellence, and to use them both for persons in school and out of school. And there are several other things. But most importantly, tomorrow, on Tuesday 9th, we are going to launch that reintroduction in primary school. So I pass on that one. I can also say to you that part of that TVET strategy seeks to make investment in our tertiary level institutions, NULO, TAMCC, to increase their capacity to house students. Because we are putting things in place to do two things. One, to legislate that education be made mandatory till age 18. Madam President, this is also going to be transformative. When I walk through the communities, we meet several youngsters, 16, 17, 18, 19, and they say to you, I want to work. And my next question, what's your skill set? What's your area of skill? What's your area of expertise? And 9 out of 10 times they tell me, well, anything. I could do anything. And I say to them, that's my problem. Because when my car breaks down, I don't want somebody who can do anything. I need an auto mechanic. I said, when I have an electrical problem at my house, I don't want somebody who can do anything. I need an electrician. And when there's a broken main in the walls that see water running through my home or somewhere, I don't need somebody who can do anything. I need a plumber. And so we are determined to close that gap by providing an additional 2 years of opportunity for young persons to get skilled. Rather than leaving school at 16, 15, turning 16, 16, and going on the breadline and saying, I want to work on creating further problem for programs like the Imani program, we are going to give them these additional 2 years, mandatorily. That's currently being looked into, to give them that opportunity to get further skill to address many of the skills gap. That's in the skills strategy that we have too. And to make that easier, we are already doing the preparatory work to make sure that TAMC tuition fees are no longer something that our students and their parents will have to find come September 2022. Give some table up for that. 2023, yeah. So while we're going to mandate it, we are going to say it becomes easier for you to access it. SDG 4, ready access, free access to education. And we want to make sure that happens. So my staff, they're working currently to do all the behind-the-scene numerical figures and calculations with TAMCC, setting up a framework to ensure that who registers and who duly gets into coming out of secondary school, that we have a mechanism to do the transfer of payments and all that. I'm excited, Madam President, of the transformation that these transforming things are going to have on our education system. We are not just talking the talk, we are walking it through. Madam President, I want to give you a quick update. We've talked a bit about the introduction of history and teaching of civics in our school system. I want to report to this House that the material is being published and being prepared. We have gotten, I believe, the clearance to hire an additional history curriculum officer, because we have one officer now serving both geography and history. But because of the emphasis we want to put specifically on history, we've gotten that clearance to specifically focus on that. So the material will be ready. There are training seminars planned for the Summer Institute that we're going to have in July during the break to prepare our teachers to use the material. The history curriculum is being refined even as we speak. And so I'm excited too that that will become a reality, other things being equal, in September 2023. Teaching of history in our primary schools, upper primary, lower secondary. As you may recognize, Madam President, I move quickly on. Recently, a couple of weeks ago, on April 24th, we did a visit to our National Library. And that signaled our commencement of consultations for the restoration, refurbishment of the National Library. So at the moment, it's in the hands of the engineers at the Ministry of Infrastructure. They are doing the assessments, and they will advise us. So that will inform the consultation. What is possible, what isn't possible. But we are confident we are going to get through with what's been budgeted for the development of the conceptual designs in this budget cycle. And the fact that we had that visit declares our intent to deliver on our commitment to so do within this period. Madam President, the last thing I'll probably talk about. In very short order, you will hear quite a bit of buzz about additional opportunities for study abroad. Now, indeed, there are just so many things happening in education, we can't get to feature everything at the same time. But come next month, we have started engaging one Dr. Randy Glean, a Grenadian by association, a Grenadian by family, by descent, by all of these good ways. And he is a professor associated with Illinois University. And he is interested in giving back. So he has been in contact with us. And he is organizing a visit of several of his high-powered university team members, some of them presidents and all of that, to visit Grenada in June 2023 to scout and to share all the opportunities and to discuss potential collaborations with about 6 or 7 universities in the United States and Canada with whom we can have collaborations to deliver various areas of study and programs. And I'm very excited about the possibilities and the potential that exists there. And we are certainly going to engage meaningfully to see all of the possible benefits that young persons can get from these kind of collaborations as we aim to continue putting education right up front and out front in our transformation agenda.
Yes, yes, indeed. That there was the Honorable David Andrew. And I am reading the comments under the live on Facebook, and the people are asking, but why are they not featuring all of these things on the mainstream media, on GIS, on the other platforms, right? Why are they not doing that? Well, look, I have an eye for things that will cause you to say wow or to think critically. Because I have been talking about this, saying that there is a need for the showcasing of the other ministers because they are doing an excellent job in their ministries and in their constituencies. We need to see more showcasing, more highlighting, more promoting of the ministers, the other ministers, because politics is perception. Politics is perception. Remember that. Never you forget that. There are people who are out there waiting patiently. Patiently, they're waiting on certain things. They want to see certain things. So I urge you, highlight all of them. The PR, the different ministries, and GIS in particular. You need to do more. And the party PR, you need to do more. Because people are hungry for information. The Grenadian people want this team to succeed. They believe in this team. They are wishing this team well, Grenadians home and abroad. So they love when you feature the positive stuff, the good things that are happening within the government. At the end of the day, NNP is mashing up, they fighting, they doing all kinds of stuff. I will highlight that. I will talk about that, blow by blow, because I love that. I love to see what is happening to the NNP and all the infighting and all the, rumblings and all the bacchanal, all the melee in there. I could deal with that effectively. But I also want to deal or highlight, promote, defend the positive things that are happening within the government, within the different ministries. And I want to see all the ministers featured. Make it a priority. I want to see the Honorable Lennox Andrew featured. I want to see the Honorable Kieran James featured. I want to see the Honorable Dennis Cornwall featured. I want to see the Honorable Joseph Andel featured. I want to see the Honorable Gloria Thomas featured. I want to see all of them featured, all of them. The Honorable Philip Telesford featured. I want to see all of them featured because they are doing a lot. And I know personally that they are doing a lot in the different ministries and their constituencies. But I want the material, right? You need to produce the material. That is what you're paid to do. Remember, I am volunteering my time and effort to do this program. Don't fool yourself. You understand the point? But if you do your work that you're paid to do, that is bringing the materials forward, showcasing what the ministers are doing within the constituencies and within the ministries and so on, that will help significantly because politics is perception. We were able to silence the NNP for 2-3 weeks at a particular period because it was all about highlighting the positive things over and over again. They just didn't have anything to say, right? But now you're lapsing there. A lot is happening, but you're not hearing much about it. You need to start producing just like TikTok. I told you so. The most effective social media platform now. TikTok. Little videos, short, 2 minutes, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Explaining stuff, talking about stuff. That is important. Simple. It doesn't have to be any long thing, 5 minutes and 4 minutes. No, 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 no. It doesn't have to be that. Just simple, simple stuff. All right? So I want to urge you to do that. I think the general public, they want to see the other ministers featured too. Feature all of them. Do small pieces of videos. Talk about what they're doing in their constituencies. Highlight it. All right? Critical. Folks, I want to say to you that come Monday, that will mark 15 years, not 15 years, 9 years since I have been volunteering my time and effort in doing this program. We will have a kind of simple thing at my place here where I live. It's a long lawn and so on, right here. A little music, a little food, a little drinks. But I'm urging you to give if you can to support this. It doesn't have to be anything big. We need a couple of cases of drinks, a couple of bottles of drinks, thing to cook and so on. And, so a good friend gave me a small pig there already. So a friend at the mall promised me a goat, right? So we're going to work on that. But remember, it's Monday coming. So once you give, we're going to have a nice little time. Nothing grand. For the 10th anniversary, we're going to have 10 major activities. And you will know about that. 10 major activities. Tickets will go on sale for it way in advance because it will also be used as a fundraiser as we move forward to the next level, because my hope is to open or to have a radio station right here in Grenada. And we're not giving up Vibes FM or Wild FM out there in New York. No. We're going to run everything concurrently. All right? The program will still continue. It will be done concurrently. So that's my whole ambition. So that 10th year will be geared towards that. All the equipment, the costing, and everything that will be required, that will be incorporated to kind of gauge what we must do to accomplish that. I set goals and I go after it. So that is my intention. So that 10th year is what will be driving that, right? On the road to a radio station and what we need to do to achieve that. So 10 major activities to observe that, to celebrate the 10th year of Kem Jones being on air. So the next level is to have my own radio station, right? It's time for me to come out of this home studio to have a radio station and have people employed on that radio station doing normal stuff. But then I will do my program in and out, right? So again, remember from the 16th of May, after the day after the 15th of May, I will start working on that 10 major activities, and you can purchase the tickets way in advance online for all the activities. I will let you know. All the activities will be a fundraiser activity, paid activity, so you can, and it will go all the way up to July of 2024, just before the carnival, to go all the way up to that, right? So May, yes, we know, is May 2024 will be the 10th year anniversary kind of culmination, but we're going to have an extra activity for those who are coming in for carnival and events for 2024. All right, the Independence event also, we hope to have something there too. So quite a number of things will be planned, all right, at different locations, and you will know what's going down, and when I put my mind to something, I will get it done. I will accomplish it with your support, with your assistance. So again, saying 10 major activities from May the 16th all the way back. That's when we start the operation. So again, remember that, because come the 11th year, I need to be speaking to you from my own radio station and having a staff, having people working with me there. All right? So we're working towards that, on the road to a radio station. All right? Whatever unique name we come up with, that will happen. Okay? So we have plans and we are working towards it. It's so important. You have to be tactical and strategic as you move ahead. And maybe next time we could talk about a TV station, and maybe we have to be ambitious. All right? We have to remove ourselves from this impoverished mindset and move to a next level as we forge ahead. All right? So again, if you can support with the 9th year celebration, kind of low key, come by me here, maybe in the afternoon time, midday afternoon time. We drink up a liquor thing, a nice little music playing. My partner, Wood Beast, he has been with me doing stuff. If I call him within no time, he normally comes by and organize a little DJ and thing, home side, and that's how he operates. And I've always kept to the people who I operate with. I have never given up. Yes, you get new friends, but you keep the old. You have to be tactical. All right. So we're going to do a little, a little music. Of course, would be so your cost would be about $400. So about $400, maybe somebody could sponsor that. The DJ. I already have a young pig there. Once I get the goat, and I'll check my good friend maybe today, tomorrow for that money. Right. And if we can't get the goat, we take the same money and we buy some turkey and some chicken wings and maybe some fish, and we do a thing. We just do it. We just do thing. We just turn things up. We're not for a million people. Simple vibes, right? Come by, drink, laugh, talk. It's always a nice time when you're around Kem Jones. You know why you operate. All right. So it's Monday, and we're gonna start about maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, that kind of time. Day 1, 2 o'clock. People can come by and we drink and we laugh and so on. So if you can help in any way, some drinks, towards, we'll give you some money towards it. Going to go towards that, and we're going to get things going from there. All right? The little that you give will work, and maybe I'll talk about it tonight and in going forward. The little that you can give. If you can't give, so be it. But it's no rush, right? So, folks, nice. Take good care. I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Peace and love. Have a blessed day. I'll be back with you tonight in the hub. Again, in the hub, doing what we normally do. We got to keep thing going, but we got to keep the thing going. We cannot give up. We have a lot to accomplish together, because Grenada belongs to all of us. All right? We're not going to be caught like 2008, 2013. When 2008, 2013, the NDC was in power. And, all right, let's first look at the NNP. The NNP was in power, and they gave all their boys license for this radio station, that radio station, this radio station, that radio station. All right? And they set up. And when the NNP out of power, they were able to utilize those radio stations to push the message and so on. You have to be tactical. This is not going to happen again. The NDC is in power. You must make sure that your people get the license required and all what is required to set up shop, to have that going. All right? Because you have to keep the thing going. So for me, I'm a student of history. I learn as I go. That's tactical. Very important. All right? Because I understand this thing. I understand this thing to a T, people. We're not going to be caught off guard. All right? Nice. No, Monday is not is Monday a holiday? No, it's not a holiday. It's just the 9th anniversary. 9 years Kem Jones has been out here serving you, volunteering his time and effort to do the program, right? So we'll be celebrating that, all right? We'll be celebrating that. 9 years. Come on, man. We have to be celebrating that. It's a major achievement. There are a lot of people who start and they just disappear. There's a lot of people who run and hide, but I've been out here fighting the fight, the good fight. All right? And then we go to the 10th year, a decade. We have to accomplish a lot together. So, folks, peace and love. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'll be back with you tonight, starting from 8 in the PM. We got to wrap it up. We way out over the time allotted, but let's just wrap it up at this point.